Hey guys, it's me again. I just wanted to share a little bit of who I am and why in the world you guys should trust me with your kids and Reiki. My name's Tiffany. I am the owner of Sacred Lotus and the Healing Hut. I have actually been doing energy work since 2010. I started out, as your typical paranormal investigator, and I went from chasing ghosties to doing tarot cards, and then I got in. Noticed I was actually really good at mediumship, and I've seen a lot more ghosties than most people did at a really young age, and so. Once I grew up and got out of my parents' house and graduated, I decided to venture off on my own, get a little bit rebellious, do some things I was told I wasn't supposed to do, just because I could, see what that life was about, learned I didn't like it, and turned completely away from all things paranormal, ghost, woo-woo, whatever you want to call it, because I got myself into some really scary situations, dealing with some entities that weren't exactly the best people to be dealing with. And so I got myself back into church, all of the things on the right track. And then I met my husband. He was not my husband at the time, obviously. He was actually, I was working with his sister, and his best friend's wife was a Reiki practitioner. And she was asking me about it, asked if I knew anything about it, because she was intuitively getting some really strong hints that I was into all of this stuff. And I said, I did paranormal investigating, found I've got some really cool talents, and just didn't have the best outcome of using them. So I turned off all my abilities and decided this wasn't for me. And she goes, "Oh, honey, there is a whole different side to this that you're really going to enjoy." So she she opened up the doors for me to enter into the world of healing through Reiki. I did her Reiki course, nothing against her, but it was not as cool as I thought it was going to be. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Everybody talks so much about Reiki. What's going on here? So I started drawing some really cool symbols, and I reached back out to her because it was after I had my attunement. And I said, "Hey, what are these? What are these symbols? I've never seen these before." And I actually got a tattoo of it. So if you see my tattoo, these are the symbols that I was drawing. They were really fun. So I reached out to her, and she's like, "You know what? I've never seen these before." So I started doing some research, and I ran across. They are called Zibu symbols, Zibu. And basically, they're angelic symbols. They're angelic healing symbols. So I started diving into the whole angelic side of this, which was totally my jam because Southern Baptist, angels, all the things, got you. So I ran into this course. I learned about angelic Reiki, and I got into that. Loved it. Teach it here in St. Louis. So much fun. Staying on track, I then found out about angelic mediumship and angelic tarot and all these different angelic healing modalities. And that was the side of things that I wanted to get into. Well, as I continued to dive into all of these things, I've actually progressed from having all those certifications to I really wanted to learn about herbalism. I really wanted to learn about more of the magic-y kind of ritual side of things. So I joined a sacred priesthood, and I traveled that journey for 13 months. During that, I really got into the galactic side of things, your starseed kids and all of the things that are out in the universe and all that kind of scientific-y kind of stuff. And I actually ran into a huge mentor and friend of mine, Caitlin, who that's her jam. She actually does these really amazing starseed accelerators. I joined in, started doing circles, joined the academy, all of the things. And I went through her Decodes program, and I'm actually a certified practitioner in Decodes. This was a 2.5-year journey. Actually, it was longer than that because I took 1.5 because I was pregnant. So I took a break. So I did level 1 twice, well, 3 times technically now. Did level 2, went up to Canada, did a very intensive hands-on training to actually run the codes, run all the things, do the tuning forks, work with the acupuncture points, the craniosacral, all the stuff. So I did a really advanced healing boot camp for a week because we learned about all of it on the internet, but you got to get hands-on. I'm all for learning stuff online, but until you get hands-on and you start doing this like with bodies and people, it's a whole different field. It's a whole different feeling. And so I did that, and now I'm actually in her Decode 3 program. So I'm continuing my education. I'm also going to college right now to become a certified natural holistic practitioner. And so there's just a lot of things that I keep growing with this. Like, this is just passion of mine. It's something I love. And so one of the things that, I've mentioned in kind of the welcome video is I really love teaching my kids this stuff, teaching them the foundations of healing, teaching them the proper way to process your emotions and how to go through that, which we'll go through this program, but really getting them to understand that they have the choice to make the decisions in their life, to choose, this is how I want to be, this is what I'm stepping into, this is the trajectory I'm going to follow, versus, you know what, I don't like this, I want to make a change, and here's the change that I'm affirming that I'm making, and here's the lifestyle that I'm choosing to live. And so this has just really been a huge thing for me, and I really love coaching women into this, because I feel, not against the men, but I feel like women are really, really strong into more of that family dynamic of making the best choices for our family and trying to figure out what that is, and being more open to healing techniques and things like that. And men are starting to do it as well, which I'm so excited about. I think that's a beautiful thing. Men in healing is very potent. I don't think men realize how potent they are in their healing processes. And, so getting men to start doing this as well is a beautiful, I think, trajectory that I hope unravels really well here over the next couple of years. But I was working at a studio in Old Town, Eureka, and I focused on the angelic side of things. And honestly, I would figure in a little town that's all about church and all of the things, that they would be open arms about a really cool healing modality to do, because I was right next to a advanced chiropractor that did acupuncture and essential oils and all the things as well, and it backfired. It didn't go as well as I thought it was going to. So I had a nudge to close down my practice in Eureka and start working from home. And about 2.5 months later, COVID hit. So during COVID, everything changed. Practitioners could not get hands-on with their patients. We couldn't see people, and people couldn't see people. Like, we weren't allowed to leave our homes. And this pandemic was a beautiful blessing, because that's when I really dove into my own growth and healing as a practitioner, and how I can change my business and the things I want to change. And I found that as I was doing sessions online with 4 kids at home, well, we started with 2, and then I was pregnant and had 4, plus animals and all the things, my husband and the chaos, doing at-home sessions was really hard to do in a space that I could actually record and do things and not be disturbed or not have things going on in the background. So I decided that I wanted to start manifesting money in a way to create my own space here at my house, and decided to build the Healing Hut, which is where you see me right now, where I do my events, I do my healing sessions, I record all my lessons, I do all my lives, all the things here in the Healing Hut. And this is right on my property. It's kind of hard to see because of the lighting, but right outside that door is this gorgeous deck that connects to my house that has a really cool burn pit area. We've got a bubble that we're calling it for outdoor activities when it gets cold outside, because Missouri weather is amazing. We have some really nice outdoor sitting patio furniture area, and I like to do outdoor sessions as well, depending on the season. And during the summer, we have the pool up where I do pool sessions, which is really, really fun. So yeah, I built this beautiful sacred space of mine after starting this journey a long time ago. And it's just something that I continue to want to learn more about, because I feel like as we evolve, the energy evolves around us here on this planet, and we're able to actually attune into different frequencies. And so the more we can attune, the more we can bring in, the more we can bridge in on a universal level that allows us to really deepen our healing opportunities. And that's why I really found a passion in becoming an advanced practitioner. And I love working with the hard cases. I love working for those cases like your fibromyalgia or your chronic pain or any of your immune disorders. Those are my favorite. And I love the fact that I can just really be there and support my clients in such a unique manner that most people don't do. And I take all the tools that I have and I make them my own. And so one of the things that I find that's best for my clients, though, is really teaching those basic foundational tools so they're not having to keep coming back to me for that. What? Yeah. I don't like the fact that my clients have to rely on me whenever they can learn these foundational tools themselves and really start making big impacts on their lives with these simple things. And once they start really adding and applying these things to their life, they start noticing those shifts. They start seeing those changes, those things that they honestly desire to see. And that's what allows them to really jump into their healing and see those massive quantum healing shifts that people so often desire. And so what better way to start really empowering my clients to do that than to start teaching kids Reiki so that their kids can do it. So then it's not just them doing this journey on their own. They can actually take their entire family on this journey if they choose to, which is really fun, which is why I love doing what I do. So my husband and I have been married. We got married in 2014. We bought our house in 2012. We got married in 2014. We had my first daughter, Rhea, which she'll be in this. I talk about her a lot. She also likes to help me with a bunch of this stuff. She was born in 2016, January. She's been a love baby. Shortly after we got pregnant with my son, who is he's finally starting to come out of his little shell, which I love so much. But he was born in August of 2017. We had a complicated time trying to get pregnant again, had a miscarriage. Did some work with my mentor and practitioner, Sam. And I was then blessed with twins that we found out about. And they were born March 2017. No, just kidding. Not 2017. Holy cow. March 14th, 2021. And gosh, they're little spitfires. It's amazing. So I have 4 beautiful kids. I love working with animals. I got several animals of my own. We've got a turtle, we've got a bunny, we've got a gecko, we've got 2 dogs and a cat. So animals, we're working on getting some chickens here. I want to do a little homesteading thing. I love growing my own herbs and making my own herbal supplements and things like that. You can probably see some of my herbs hanging up to dry behind me. I do dry my own herbs and make herb bundles and things like that as well with my daughter, who likes to sell on her little online store. So I do a lot of things on my own. I like teaching my kids how to do these things. We have our own herb garden. We have our own fruits and vegetable garden. We're doing chickens, things like that. Eventually, I would love to get some goats on the property so we can start making our own milk and our own milk products as well. But I love doing things holistically. I love doing things on my own because it's nature to do so. My great grandma was Cherokee Indian and she lived off the land, and I love that. I love the idea of being able to do that. And in the past couple of years, I think the best thing that I've learned is knowing that we can't always depend on the world. Sometimes the world shuts down, and when it does, then what? Then what happens? And I want to be able to have that space of my kids being able to take care of themselves in a way that's not like, oh my gosh, we're complete homesteaders, but at the same time, we've got enough here that we can survive. And so being able to do that and to take care of ourselves and work on basic healing and being able to know what herbs to use to make healing salves or to make tinctures with, things like that, our own kind of medicine, our own homeopathics, I think was really, really kind of that turning point for me over the past couple years. And so now I'm starting to slowly bring that to my community that follows me, and that's why you're here. So we won't get into any of those homeopathic kind of things. That is something that I'm hoping to offer here in the next year or so, as I'm still learning myself, as I'm going through school to do my own thing. But I'm really excited that you guys are here, and I'm really excited to see where you go. And I'm so excited that you chose me. And I really hope that you enjoy getting to hear a little bit about who I am and how I started on this journey and where that journey began to where it is now. And that, I'm still going. I'm still learning. I'm still working on bettering myself and all the things that I have to offer. And I just wish that you guys never stop looking at the possibilities of growth and, the opportunities that you have to change who you are and to do more of the things that light you up and make you just as happy as what I've experienced over the past couple of years. So thank you so much for listening to my story, who I am and how I got here. And I'm really looking forward to working with you and your family as we go through this program together.